buddy Nick from Carpro Detailing, Heber City, Utah, in the Salt Lake City area at Detail Envy. Just moved in here, but he's been detailing for a long time. He's got a great tip for you about how to properly work between your compound and polishing stages. Yes, compounds get dusty. How do you deal with that dust? We have an amazing trick coming up for you. I want you to stick around for that, and then just a lot of natural looking around. I want to ask him about his interior space, the first thing that people see when they walk in. So not only that kind of lounge area, but also what actually gets done, the work back here, the organization, the tools he uses. We're not claiming that anybody here is better than anybody else. I live in Utah. The detail scene here is very vibrant, and it's amazing learning from people who have been doing this a long time. How do you do what you do? What tips do you have? Hope you guys enjoy this shop tour, episode number 2. It is a summer night here at Detail Envy in West Valley, and it's not owned by this guy. Look at that horrible clear coat, dude. Who would ever drive a car like that?
Look at that. I'll put extra scratches in it.
Can you buff that out or what?
No.
Can we put some F11 on there? Some top coat?
Maybe for here.
I think it just needs a good wax though.
This isn't metal right here.
Good clay bar, right?
Dang.
Don't you guys love customers who clay their own cars?
No.
This is Steven, the owner of Detail Envy.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? I love the logo of your shop. Can you just tell me what we have going on here?
I think when I designed my logo, I just wanted something really, kind of simple, classy. Nothing too extravagant. Something that someone you see it and you know it's my business name. So.
Tell me about your experience as far as like being in the game. How long have you been detailing cars?
I've been doing this for 15 years plus years. I started out, kind of just doing my own thing, my own cars, and it kind of moved into a little side gig and as a business. And people were like, hey, how'd your car look so good? Or who does your car? Things like that. So I started doing that as a little side gig, had a full-time job, and pretty soon I realized, hey, I can make some money doing this and do something I actually like doing. So I finally quit my regular job after like 13 years and started my business. Kind of started out in my garage doing a little bit of mobile detailing, and now I finally got my shop. I think even with detailing, a lot of people think like, oh, I'm gonna start a detailing business, I wanna make a ton of money, work on a ton of cool cars, do all this fun stuff, but they don't realize it's work. It's a business. You have to treat it like a business. It's a lot of, labor intensive work, a lot of long hours, and sometimes not so glamorous hours. You're, doing dirty, nasty cars, and you're not polishing those, Lamborghinis and Ferraris that everybody sees on Instagram. So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is you're gonna start a business, open a shop, and then you're gonna have all these people pulling in their cars in and say, hey, I want a ceramic coating or I want a paint correction or all this other stuff. Sometimes you're gonna open your doors and you're gonna get a bunch of minivans or beat up little Honda Civics and nothing too exciting at first. You gotta kind of build your name up and you can kind of get those cool cars and things like that.
You chose this, right? Or did it choose you?
And I think a little bit of both. I loved keeping my cars clean. I love doing other people's cars, seeing their reaction when I would finish their cars, and seeing like, wow, I can't imagine my car looking this good. It looked better than when I first got it, or I've had other people detail my car and it hasn't, it's never been this clean, or things like that. So I think just having those two different types of mentalities as far as like it's something I love to do, and it's something I can do to make other people love their car again. Because like you said, like those cars aren't the coolest cars. But at the same time, though, like you can make people fall in love with their, their 20-year-old Honda after, bringing new life to it. Either polishing the paint or deep cleaning the interior. People they fall back in love with a car that they, at one point, they put all their hard-earned money into purchasing. So.
All right, burying the lead here. Rennie Doyle's coming in September. I just want people to know you're the real deal, the only Carpro installer in Utah. Let's do a shop tour and then we can talk about Rennie Doyle in a second. So let's go inside.
Let's take a look here.
I love the logo on the outside. It's just like really classy and it's like minimal in all the right ways. The logo for Carpro I think is sick. But tell me about your setup here.
So like right here, we just have a basic little setup. Like you said, we're the only Carpro certified installers in the whole state of Utah.
Can we turn that fan off?
Yeah, we're also the only Carpro certified reseller in the state of Utah.
I like the fans. It's the middle of summertime. We're gonna get into the shop in a second, but I just want the audio to be good. All right. So we were talking the other day, and I mean, I've heard of Carpro. Like, a lot of people know about Iron X, which I think is a fantastic product. I've heard about Reload as a product as well. I haven't used CR Spotless or anything, but yeah, not CR Spotless.
Yeah, so a lot of
Anyway.
products you see here are basically like their maintenance line of products. So like you said, everybody knows, Iron X or some type of, iron remover. We have Reload, which is their sealant, Tarex, their tar remover. Reset is a really, really good car shampoo. It's good for coated vehicles, get all that heavy road grime, kind of reset the coatings sometimes when they're not beating as well. This is a great water spot remover for not for really like set in water spots, but for a water spot, say you forgot one day and the sprinklers were on your car. The next morning you wake up, you can kind of use something like that to get a lot of those water spots off. And like I said, we went to RNX. Here's the coatings we use as well. Some of the consumer grade coatings down here.
Okay.
C Quartz UK 3.0. I love that. I mean, for a consumer grade coating, it works awesome. There's Deluxe for the wheels, and there's their newest coating. It's a 6 months to a year coating. It's called Carpro Light. It's for those people who don't know a lot about coatings. They kind of want to get into the coating game, but they don't want to invest a lot of money, pay a lot of money for pro grade or even for like a consumer grade like that, where it's.
And a question about that is, because I install different coatings than you do, but I really admire just how sleek and professional all this looks. It kind of bridges the really interested enthusiast who wants to take care of his own car or her own car with kind of that feeling of like, this is professional product. So I think it's a good look. I'm going to walk over here while you keep talking so people get a sense of place. But this is your front lobby. So as far as Carpro goes in the front lobby, what was your philosophy for the rest of the design here?
The reason I picked Carpro even to go with as the coating that I choose is because of, for one thing, they are very selective with their installers. I mean, anybody can't just go and pay, $1,500 to become an installer. You have to be invited to their classes. They take you out to wherever their locations. They have you train. They have you, demonstrate your abilities as far as installing coatings, paint correction, and as far as like your business. They want to know your business ethics, like how you handle customers, how you push your products onto people, and how they don't want you just like every time a customer walks in the door, hey, here's a $1,500 pro grade coating. They want you to go over the things like, hey, you're a candidate for like a 3-year coating or a 6-month coating, or maybe not.
Okay, so how about I walk in and I say, hey Steven, I heard about you guys. I saw your 5-star reviews online, and I'm thinking about just getting a good detail, and then I'd like to try to install maybe my own ceramic coating. They probably wouldn't say that, but let's say there's an enthusiast out there who may be thinking about coating their own car. Does Carpro have like an easy consumer grade coating that you can talk about at all?
Yeah, like the two here, both of these, the UK and the Light, are both consumer grade coatings that a person can come in and purchase either from me or through Carpro directly, and they're super user friendly, easy to use, but very durable. So like UK, I have one right now in a car, and it's been on the car for over 2.5 years, and it's still beating, and the gloss is still there, like day one. So
I hear good things about Reload as well, the silica spray sealant.
Yeah, it's an awesome sealant. And then sometimes like a customer, they want like a good protection. They don't want to invest in a coating. Then that's where I'll recommend, hey, let's do a heavy wash, decon, a light polish, and we'll put a coat of silica Reload on there, and then they can just decide, hey, next time when that wears off, they're like, hey, let's is
that an upsell, or is that something that you just put on because it works well?
With me, all my packages include my full exterior packages include that as like the basic thing, basic topper.
What are your exterior packages? Everyone wants to know right on the forums. What should I charge for this?
So I don't have like a ton of packages like everybody else. I like to just keep it just like I said, but it's like my logo. Everything just simple. I have 2 packages I offer. I offer just a basic, just your maintenance package for people who kind of like their cars are not too dirty, but they just need a little refresher. Just want to make it look, just get that little extra look on there. Just make it look kind of perfect.
Do you clay it?
Oh, it depends. That is and again my next package. So my next exterior package, I'll offer depending on the paint, the condition, stuff like that. We can offer an iron decon We can do tar removal. We can do offer clay and like a light polish, things like that. And so those are the ones we offer that. Then from there on we can.
So how do you upsell a customer from, I think I just need a good detail, to they don't even realize there's tar on their paint, they don't see the holograms, and probably never would have if you didn't show them in direct sunlight or with your fancy scan grip, and then next thing you know, you've got them on a detail that you want to do because it'll be awesome, but it's going to cost money because it's going to cost time, and so I feel like I usually give that stuff away. Are you better at getting what your time is worth, and if so, can you kind of share what you do?
Yeah, I think that what I like to do is I like to educate my customers on everything. I like to let them know, the reasons why we do these things, and they I just kind of ask them gauging questions like, so what are you trying to accomplish with your vehicle? What do you want? Do you just want a clean, shiny car? Do you care? I show them different things, like you said, like okay, this black stuff on the bottom of the thing. Sometimes people think those are scratches, and it's just tar on the bottom of the car, things like that, or the little orange specks. The people think, oh, my car's rusting away, and so you can kind of talk to them about in this step we'll use like an iron remover to remove this kind of thing. So I kind of explain all the different things we can offer them, and also let them know like, okay, and ask them what their budgets are as well. So some people don't want to spend $300, $400, $500 for an exterior of their car. They can come in like, hey, I just need a wash in a sealant, and I don't want to spend more than $100.
No one has ever told me they want to wash in a sealant. They always say
wash in a wax. Yeah. And that's where you have to educate your customers too, because I talk to them about that too. Like I always tell them, like I said, most people are familiar with the term a wash and wax. I said we don't offer that type of package here. What we offer is a sealant, basically like a synthetic wax, where it's more durable. It lasts longer than your traditional wax, where you get like a couple weeks to a month out of it. Whereas with most sealants, good sealants in our environment, you probably get a good 4 to 6 months out of them here. And so I kind of educate them on those different things.
How do you measure that outside of water beading? Just as a you don't have to be an expert on this, but I usually look at water beading to see if on a maintenance client's car, the product that I last applied is working. I'm wondering, how do you? I mean, is there a special magic tool you use, or is it just kind of the way it sheets or beads water?
With those characteristics, like as far as like that, you can tell by just like the paint, like you said, with the way the water characteristics when you wash it, how easy it is to wash and stuff like that. So you can tell when a paint, doesn't have any kind of protection. Sometimes getting things off are a little bit harder to get off. Like your tars and things like that, or just road grime, it's harder to wash off. And so
does it feel stickier? You mean?
Yeah, the paint feels like that. Like it's really sticky, and it feels like it's just kind of like you feel like the grittiness from all the dirt gets stuck to the paint. And so you can kind of just tell just by those things. And when you like I said, just when you're hand washing, you can kind of just feel all the different stuff stuck to the paint, all the grime and things like that. So
we were chatting about 7 different things. I kept interrupting you. Can we just keep doing the shop tour?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look.
All right. Again, I keep thinking about Rainy Doyle's going to be here in September. While we talk about that, can we turn that fan off so that we all sweat and can't survive? You guys, I'm so excited to be here in Steven's shop. He moved into one pretty recently, and we'll get into that in a second. I like the lights here on the wall. What kind of lights do you guys have in your shop? Just comment below. Like I said, we're trying to all learn from each other. You know what I really want to do is get like a scan grip light and light your face. I think that'd look cool. Like that one right there. What if we did that? You guys are like, why am I watching this right now? Does this look good? See, I like that. That's good. My man Brigham from Superior Automotive Details. He's hiding. They're working on this Subaru here, just in the middle of compounding. So it's not ready for prime time. It's not done yet. I was like, let's do the video. I'm going to turn around. So tell me about the shop, Steven. We just left your kind of main entrance area, super classy. And then this is where the work gets done. I can just feel like a clean vibe about the space, which I really admire.
I don't know, like I said, it's an 1,800 square foot shop. I mean, it's not, nothing too high end or anything like that, but I like it. I'm able to do all my work in here. Over here, we're just going to keep all our polishers. We use all different types of polishers, from Rupes to Flex.
How do you like the Flex 3401? That's forced rotation, right?
I use that a lot with when I do, like I say, like a one-step polish. So that with an all-in-one has a little bit more cut. So I feel like, at least I feel it has more cut when I that's what I use it for. And I got my old trusty,
the porter cable,
things like I had that thing for like 15 years.
So okay, a lot of people are probably gonna wonder, like, how do I get into polishing? Do I need to spend $350 on a Rupes? Can I buy a Porter cable? I mean, what do you recommend for like people who really want to just get their first polisher?
I think you can start out with any of your entry-level polishers, like a Porter cable or a Griot's Garage. I think they work fine. I've done a ton of cars with that Porter cable, from show cars to your basic little cars. But I've done a ton of cars before I found out about all these other machines, or before they even came out.
Oh my God, you have the KXK Dynamics racks. How do you like these?
Oh, I love these racks. They're awesome. They look great.
They look amazing. Oh, and this one's black, right?
Yeah.
And
So when I bought this one originally when it first came out. Then they released these other new ones, and I love the look of them. Kind of match my cabinets a little bit, that hammered look. So
how awesome is I mean, Jason Kilmer is a legend, right? And then I'm just trying to get you back in the light a little bit. And then we have Aaron Knox, who I feel like he just gives back to the industry so much. Like, talk about those guys, since we're just randomly chatting about your shop, and I think KXK is amazing.
No, I think those guys are amazing. I think, especially like Aaron Knox, I think he brings a lot to to the detailing community. He's active on forums, things like that. He's approachable. You can ask him any questions that you need,
and the dude knows what he's doing.
He does.
He's like, I mean, if anyone's mastered their craft out there, he's in that league, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. I think a lot of detailers like to strive to be on that level with him, as far as like his work and his professionalism and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's cool to see him, because I've asked him questions online, and he answers me, and he helps me out a ton, and he just seems like he understands how hard, and maybe in some ways how lonely detailing can be, because he'll sometimes just talk about mental health, and it's amazing that you're you, and I feel like he actually cares about people, and so when you ask him, he really wants to help. So I just see his service, and I'm like, dang, I admire it, because it's what makes the world go around,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's also part of the Carpro family too, so which
exactly.
is awesome.
I saw that the other day when you were telling me about Carpro. So show me around. You guys are in the middle of working, right? So
everything's kind of a mess right now. We just moved into the shop probably about 2 months ago. One of the things I suggest, and I still need to do myself, is when you get into a shop, is lighting. Like right now, the light in here sucks. I had my electrician come out the other day, and we're going to install a lot more lighting and a lot brighter lighting for the shop, just to get more, be able to see more stuff, things like that.
What do you need more of? Do you need more horizontal lights, like this custom stuff you did here, or do you need more top light? Like, what do you need more of?
For my interior detailing, things like that, I like it to be a little more brighter in here. That way, when I'm looking into the car, kind of see a little more what I'm doing. As far as like with paint correction, it works fine for me, because I use just a lot of just either a scanner handheld, or the rolling cart there, or their headlamps, things like that. So that helps a lot with basically turn all the lights off and just use that focus light when I'm doing paint correction. So
how do you like the scan grip?
Oh, I love it. They work awesome. You can see a lot of defects with those. I have both the first and the second gen, and I use them for different various reasons, depending on the color of the car. The more natural light, the brighter white, or the more like that brownish color white.
I can press this button and it like changes the hue. Yeah, makes it more yellow. You got the Mighty Light, which I think is a great machine for detailing. The 4-gallon rigid vac, another classic tool. What are some of your staple products? What do you find yourself just relying on day in, day out in the trenches?
So when I'm doing a lot of interior detailers, like my steamer, I love the VX5000. It's an awesome steamer. When I started out, I had a tiny little steamer. Most people probably don't even know what it is. The Mighty Firebird. It's a tiny little steamer they had out for a while. After that, I ended up getting like the McCulloch, the 1385 that everybody uses, and then I just felt both of those were just like super underpowered for what you need them for with detailing.
And you've got the cart, which I've seen advertised online, but even the folks at VX5000 or whatever say, if you're mobile, it doesn't make a ton of sense to have that cart.
It doesn't. You don't want to lug that thing around. It's heavy. It's bulky, and just it makes it hard to stick it in your van or your truck or whatever you got to do with it. But it's nice to store here in the shop, put all my stuff in it, put all the accessories, things like that in there. So
one of my favorite tools is the LHR 75E, and I love using like a microfiber disc. Tell me about this bad boy sprayer. What is this thing?
I just use that. I keep O&R in there. I use O&R for everything. I use it for my interiors. I use it for my exterior wipe downs, for cleaning windows, you name it. I use it for everything you can. And I love these little pump sprayers. I know everybody loves the IK sprayers, and I've used those as well. But to me, I don't know. I've had this one forever. It's lasted forever.
Yeah, the nozzle was bent, but it still works, I'll bet.
Oh yeah, the nozzle's like adjustable, so you can kind of like move it around.
Oh, nice.
So, but yeah, I love that thing. It's awesome. It works great. And like
I see a giant air compressor over there, Tornador, various air tools. And those are your compound and polishes over there?
This is some of the compound and polishes we use. We use a lot of Carpro stuff. I also use a lot of Angelwax. I really like their stuff.
You like Angelwax? I've heard so much hype about it, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, I heard like when it first came out, I was like, hey, I had to try it myself to see what it's all about. But I love it. It works awesome. Low dusting, if any dust at all. It doesn't stain trim, things like that. So it makes it nice.
So what is their heaviest cutting compound that does not really dust? Like, because I think everyone wants like I love M101, but it dusts like a mother. What out there like has minimal dusting that does a great job and maybe finishes well? Like obviously we want it all, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's you can find that happy medium, and I think even with their heavy cut, you get very, very minimal dusting. As long as you're working clean, you're kind of blowing out your pads, keeping, using fresh pads, things like that, you don't have those issues at all, which makes it really nice. Where like some compounds and polishes, like you talked about McGuire's, which we use a lot of as well, those, you can get a ton of dusting. They produce results, but they also produce a ton of dust, which kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes if it works, it works. You got the yellow Rupes pad there. Tell me about Beadmaker. Underrated or overrated?
I like Beadmaker. I don't. Some people claim it's going to last you months and months and months, but obviously, I mean, we all know like not every product claims to to be to live up to its durability. What I use Beadmaker for is not as like a last step product. I use it a lot as like a quick detailer almost. To, after a car, after we wash it, I'll use it. If it has some kind of protection on that, then I'll kind of use that as like a drying aid to kind of get the car a little more gloss, things like that.
Yeah, I don't think we should expect 6 months of amazing protection out of Beadmaker, but it makes people happy. It is so slick, so glossy.
It smells amazing.
It smells amazing. Like it's such a winner of a product. And then what is Resurrection? Is this their Angelwax? Is this their heavy cut compound?
Yeah, it's their heavy cut compound.
How does it finish down?
It actually finishes really well. You can it doesn't leave any like a lot of haze or anything like that. It almost finishes down like almost like a polish. You can remove heavy defects and it still produces that really nice gloss.
What is your go-to product for finishing down paint? I know it depends on the paint and the day and all that, but like when it comes to finicky black paint to whatever the other side of that extreme is, what's your go-to polish?
I love the Carpro line. So I love Carpro Essence. I think it works awesome. It finishes down really, really well. It gives a nice gloss. And the cool thing about it, like depending on like protection, you could use Carpro Essence and Carpro Essence Plus as an LSP. So you can get nearly almost a year worth of protection out of both of that combo. So you do your paint correction, hit it with Carpro Essence and Carpro Essence Plus, and you're going to get a pretty good durable, nice shine and a long-lasting protection on the vehicle.
Okay, now I want to know about this little guy, this little orange guy. What's that? Tell me about this guy.
This is the little Griot 3-inch polisher. One of the first like 3-inch polishers I bought was the Griot's Garage, and it's not the strongest thing in the bunch of all my polishers, but it works.
It gets the job done.
It gets the job done for sure.
That's amazing. It's so easy to like get wrapped up in all the hype.
It's cheap too. That's the thing. You can buy it for I think like $80 online or something like that. So you can't beat that at all.
Hey, do you know where Brigham went? Where's that guy? Hey, you missed a couple spots on the windshield though. All right, let's do the finishing little lap here. You have an IR light. That looks really legit. What do you use that for? Coatings?
Yeah, I use that for coatings. also for like little paint touch-up areas. So I'm touching up some paint. You can kind of speed up the curing process of that to kind of get the paint harder because you have to, we can wet sand, things like that. So I use it a lot for stuff, for various different things.
Nice. Oh, and then you have the other scan grip you were talking about. I don't know if anyone's still watching. If they are, they're probably like hardcore detailers, and that's awesome. That's exactly what we're here for, is to just talk about stuff to help people, right? I want to know this stuff. I hope people out there want to know it too. The Kranzel, the OG. Tell me about this bad boy.
I love the Kranzel. I think it works really well for, you know, now I'm starting to move more and more toward, you know, like rinseless washes, things like that. I'll use that on some, you know, really dirty cars, things like that. Sometimes I'll hit a pressure wash a car just to get that heavy dirt off. Then I'll just go with my my O&R wash. I think it just makes it a lot easier to do rinseless washes, less mess, especially when you're having to do wash outside, things like that. So
right.
You don't have to worry about like water spotting.
You have the CR Spotless. Do you use that?
I do. I don't use it a lot. But when I do use it, so say like when I'm like you talked about those dusty compounds. So I'll do a heavy cut compound, and then sometimes I will have to wash the car because it's super dusty. And I like to use like the CR Spotless, just because like I don't want to introduce any other stuff into like back onto the paint, like hard water or things like that.
Dude, that is wisdom right there.
That's the main reason I like to use it for, because it's just because like who wants to do all that polishing, correcting, and then now some water still stuck in there, and you're polishing, you come back one side, it's dried, and there's a big heavy water spot.
Or if you're coating, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
If that water droplet comes down, if it has the least amount of contaminants or minerals or whatever, that's good for your for your paint.
Yeah, you just don't want to work.
That's the nugget right there. A genius tip. We got some brake buster over there. So you have enough room to store what? 2 vehicles, 3?
Yeah, we can get about 3 vehicles depending on the size in here. So
awesome, man.
It makes it nice. So like I kind of do like I'll do like my paint corrections and interiors up here. I have a water containment mat. If I do want to wash inside, I'll set that mat up, wash toward the back of the shop, and vacuum it up and dump the water. That way the water's not just running all around. Plus I don't like the water everywhere, because then if it's all over the floors, I'm trying to do an interior, then my feet are wet and gets the carpets and everything all dirty and things like that, or slings up water on kind of back another car out. So I just try to keep the water to a minimum if I have to wash indoors.
Got it. All right, man. Well, I think we should do a separate video about Rennie Doyle coming to your shop. I think it's an amazing thing. Why don't I tease that right up here at some point? It'll be here. There's another video there now, but then I'll do the next video, and that'll be all about Rennie Doyle coming to Detail Envy sometime very soon. It's probably already been announced. Steven's standing there awkwardly. Do you want to say anything else? Do you want to tell me all about it?
Thanks for coming out to the shop. I appreciate it. You know, it's always fun talking to other detailers and getting to show them around your shop and kind of showing them how you work. And I don't know, like you said, like sometimes just talking to other detailers, you learn little small nuggets of new information you can use in your own business. So that's the cool thing about it.
All right, let's say little Steven's out there sitting at home dreaming of one day owning a detail shop. In all seriousness, you know, someone who likes to clean cars but doesn't really know anything and thinks that maybe they could do a business, like, what do you say to that kid just starting out, or maybe that adult?
I think with anything, like, detailing is the easy part. I think anybody can learn how to detail cars, polish cars, do interiors. The hardest thing that I feel that anyone needs to learn to do is just first learn to run a business. That's the hardest thing you'll do in this industry, is make sure that, and that's why a lot of people I think fail, is because they don't know how to market their business, don't know how to manage their business, don't know how to deal with customers. See, there's a lot of different aspects of all that thing. If you can master those, I mean, detailing is, that's the easy part, and you can be super successful and make a lot of money in this industry.